Hello everyone, and welcome back to Sir Boat's Yacht, your go-to channel for all things afloat, from sleek super yachts to unsung maritime heroes. I'm your host, and today we're setting sail on a vessel that's equal parts beacon of safety and broadcasting powerhouse, the Jenni Baynton, formerly known as Lightship Lv8. Built in the post-war boom of 1949, this red-hulled icon has lit the way for sailors, grooved to disco beats, and now pulses with radio waves from the Dutch coast. If you've ever wondered how a humble lightship evolves into a floating studio, stick around as we unpack her story, specs, and soul. Hit that like button if you're ready to drop anchor with us, and let's dive in. When it comes to key features, the Jenni Baynton packs a punch that's as practical as it is poetic. At her core, she's a steel-hulled workhorse measuring 137 feet overall. That's about the length of a basketball court plus a bit extra, with a beam of 25 feet wide, giving her a sturdy footprint on the water without being cumbersome. Her draft sits at a modest 15 feet, perfect for hugging coastal shallows where danger lurks just below the surface. What really sets her apart, though, is that iconic lantern tower crowning the deck, a fixed multi-catoptric electrical setup that once hurled a beam up to 18 miles out to sea, powered by a reliable 34.5 horsepower Gardner diesel engine. Imagine that, in the dead of night, fog rolling in thick as pea soup, her light slicing through like a lighthouse on legs, guiding ships away from rocky doom. And don't forget the fog signal, a gutsy G-diaphone horn, driven by twin 38 horsepower Gardner diesels feeding Revel QR compressors, belting out a low-frequency wail that could rattle your fillings from miles away. These aren't just gadgets, they're lifesavers, engineered for endurance in the brutal North Sea. Fast forward to today, and she's got modern upgrades like a towering radio mast for medium wave transmissions on 1602 kHz, turning her into a nomadic DJ booth that broadcasts live from anchorages off Harlingen. Her hull, repainted that vibrant Trinity House red, gleams with portholes and rigging that whisper of decades at sea, while a Dutch flag snaps proudly from the stern. It's this blend of old-school reliability and fresh tech that makes her a standout, not flashy like a mega yacht, but tough as nails, ready for whatever the tide throws her way. Shifting gears to design, the Jenni Baynton's blueprint is a masterclass in functional elegance, born from the shipyards of Philip & Son in Dartmouth, England, back in 1948. Picture this: a riveted steel frame, yard number 1171, hammered together for a contract price of just over £61,000, a bargain for a vessel meant to outlast tempests. Her form follows function to a T. A rounded bow to shrug off waves, a flat-bottomed hull for rock-solid station keeping on mooring chains that could weigh tons, and that signature lantern gallery perched high like a crow's nest with a dome that once housed a rotating optic lens. The superstructure, all business, white-painted decks housing winches, bollards, and antenna arrays, with black masts strung like harp wires for radio ops. She's no speed demon, her lines are blocky and purposeful, optimized for immobility rather than motion, with ballast tanks deep in the belly to keep her level when gales howl. Yet there's poetry in the details, the subtle flare at the waterline reduces slamming in choppy seas, and those tall, slender masts not only hoist signals but double as aerials for radio telegraphy back in her lightship days. After her 2005 overhaul in Harlingen, the team stripped away disco-era gaudiness, think neon and mirrors, and restored her to near-original glory, reactivating the lantern for nostalgic glows during events. It's a design that screams resilience. Built to endure collisions, she bounced back from a 1955 smack-up with a Panamanian steamer without missing a beat, and decades of salt spray. For boating enthusiasts, she's a reminder that true style isn't about curves or chrome, it's about engineering that bends but never breaks, a floating fortress disguised as a friendly guidepost. Now, let's step inside and explore the interior features, where the Jenni Baynton's guts reveal a cozy, cluttered charm that's worlds away from sterile superyacht cabins. Descend through a watertight hatch, and you're in a world of riveted bulkheads and oiled teak, lit by gimbaled lanterns that sway with the gentlest roll. The crew quarters, or what's left of them after her radio rebirth, are a nod to hardy seafarers, stacked bunks too high along narrow corridors, each with woolen blankets tucked into lockers stuffed with oilskins, logbooks, and the odd tin of tobacco. It's tight quarters, sure, maybe 4 to 6 souls could bunk here comfortably, but that's the lightship life, where every inch counts. Swing by the galley, a compact heartbeat of the ship, enamel stove bolted down with brass rails to corral pots during heaves, a scarred wooden prep table scarred by decades of knife work, and cabinets groaning under tinned soups, dried spices, and percolators that brew coffee strong enough to wake the dead. Portholes frame the grey Waddenzee, turning meal prep into a porthole vista. The heads, that's nautical for bathroom, keep it simple, porcelain sinks with brass taps that drip like Morse code, a fold-down seat over the loo, and a hose-fed shower that blasts cold North Sea water for that invigorating rinse. No marble vanities here, it's all about utility, with faded tiles and a faint whiff of brine that grounds you in the ship's salty heritage. But here's where she shines post-refurb. The transmitter room, a glowing nerve center added in 2007, crammed with analog consoles, VU-meters flickering like fireflies, vacuum tubes humming broadcasts for Radio Waddenzee and Seagull. Patch bays snake across metal benches, flanked by racks of equalizers and standby rigs, all under warm incandescents that cast long shadows on nautical charts pinned to paneled walls. Up top, the new studio's a creative haven, soundproofed with egg carton foam, mixing desks for live DJ sets, and windows overlooking the mast where signals leap to shore. It's evolved from Spartan crew digs to a hybrid workspace, hosting maritime cadets for training sims or expositions on offshore radio lore. For anyone who's squeezed into a camper van on a road trip, this interior feels familiar, intimate, improvisational, and utterly alive with the hum of human endeavor. Performance aspects bring us to the Jenni Baynton's beating heart, or rather, her throbbing diesels, and how she handles the demands of duty, from ironclad anchoring to offshore jaunts. As a lightship, she wasn't built for blue water sprints. Her propulsion is all about auxiliary grunt, with those Gardner engines, 34.5 bhp for the lantern, 38 bhp twins for the horn, churning reliably but modestly, tops maybe 8 knots under tow. No fancy props or rudders here. She's a stationary sentinel, moored by massive chains to sinkers on the seabed, her hull's low center of gravity and 300-odd tons of displacement ensuring she rides out force 10 gales like a champ. Ballast adjustments via pumps kept her trim during her Trinity House tenure, from the Thames estuary's murk to the North Sea's fury, logging 42 years without a major flop. That 1955 collision. She limped home for repairs but was back in the fight by 56, proving her seaworthiness. Today, repurposed as a radio rig, performance shifts to endurance broadcasting, anchored 8 miles off Harlingen in the Waddenzee, she feeds crystal-clear signals via her mast, with generators purring through 24-hour sets without a hiccup. Towing's her travel mode, a tug hauls her seasonally to sheltered piers in winter, or out for summer broadcasts, where she holds position via GPS and thrusters if needed, though originals were pure chain and winch. Fuel efficiency? Vintage diesels sip at about 5 gallons per hour under load, but it's the stability that steals the show. Minimal roll in beam seas thanks to her wide beam, letting the EJs mix without spilling a drop. For performance chasers, she's no Ferrari of the fleet, but her metrics, 0 breakdowns over marathon moors, signal range hitting 50 miles on calm days, make her a reliability rockstar. In a world of finicky electronics, her analog soul delivers unfiltered power, turning potential white noise into waves that connect listeners across the Frisian coast. Wrapping up with her unique selling points, the Jenni Baynton isn't just another old tub gathering barnacles, she's a chameleon of the seas, a living timeline of maritime reinvention that hooks history buffs, radio nerds, and yacht dreamers alike. First off, her pedigree. One of Trinity House's finest, she guarded UK waters for over 4 decades, from Kentish Knox sands to Tongue's tides, her light and horn saving untold lives in an era before GPS. That's heritage you can't buy. A direct link to the clipper ship days, now floating in Harlingen as a museum meets studio. Then there's the disco detour, Rechrist and Baraka Inn, 91, she throbbed with bass in Rotterdam's docks until fire codes clipped her wings in 2001, a wild chapter that adds gritty glamour to her resume. But the real magic? Her radio renaissance since 2005, when Radio Waddenzee scooped her up for peanuts and poured love into a glow-up. Studio installs, mast directions, and offshore anchors that let her beam indie tunes to the Wadden horizon. Imagine tuning in from your beach towel, knowing the signal's bouncing off a 75-year-old hull. That's intimacy tech can't touch. She's versatile too, charters for sea cadets drills, corporate powwows in her saloon, or expos on pirate radio lore, all while her lantern flickers for photo ops. At a fraction of a new build's cost, she was a steal at auction. She's the ultimate eco-upgrade for broadcasters, blending low emissions with high nostalgia. For Sir Boat's yacht viewers eyeing legacy crafts, her USP screams value, seaworthy, story-rich, and scalable for events that wow. Whether you're plotting a floating podcast or just geeking on gears, Jenni Baynton's proof that the best vessels evolve. From warning flare to airwave carrier, she's the sea's ultimate multitasker. There you have it, folks, the Jenni Baynton's full sail, from beam to broadcast. If this floating legend lit a spark in you, drop a comment. Would you DJ from her deck or just sip coffee in the galley? Smash subscribe for more vessel voyages, and I'll see you on the next tide. Fair winds.